Meet Elgin Baylor, the greatest player in NBA history to never win a championship, and the number 22 member of my 25 greatest players in NBA history list. Elgin Baylor was born September 16, 1934 in Washington, D.C. Baylor was a three-time All-City player in high school whose career was in jeopardy early on. After his sophomore year, he dropped out and worked in a furniture store due to his poor grades. Luckily, Baylor re-entered school for his senior year at a new high school and dominated, winning an award for being the area's best basketball player. Poor grades kept him out of college until a friend arranged a scholarship at the College of Idaho, where he was expected to play basketball and football. After one season, though, the school dismissed the head basketball coach and restricted the program. Luckily, a Seattle car dealer convinced Baylor to come to Seattle University. Baylor played for Seattle University in 1956-57 and 57-58, taking the Chieftains to the 58 national championship game, where they lost to Kentucky. Following the 57 season, Baylor was drafted by the Minneapolis Lakers, but he decided to return to school before once again being drafted by the Lakers following the 58 season. The Lakers were in shambles after star George Mikan had retired and needed a star desperately. Minneapolis Lakers owner Bob Short told the Los Angeles Times in 1971, quote, "If he had turned me down then, I would have been out of business. Short needed a franchise-saving star, and he got one." As a rookie, Baylor shocked the basketball world with his incredible athleticism and shot-making ability. In just his first season, Baylor would lead the Lakers to the final. There, they would match up with Russell's Celtics, starting off a decade-long rivalry. Still, despite Baylor's skill set, the Lakers couldn't make it work in Minneapolis and moved to Los Angeles, becoming the league's first team on the West Coast. Also joining the Lakers in Los Angeles was their new draft pick out of West Virginia, guard Jerry West. Together, West and Baylor transcended the game of basketball. Their fast-paced, high-flying style became the precursor to today's modern NBA. Baylor was the game's first vertical superstar. For the likes of Dr. J and MJ, Elgin brought a new way to play the game of basketball. While changing his sport on the court, off it, Baylor faced one of the most unique and difficult careers of anyone in sports history. As a black man in the 60s, Baylor was forced to experience things his white teammates couldn't even imagine. Regularly on the road, he was denied food or the ability to stay at places his other teammates could. Beyond the systematic and regular racism he experienced, Baylor was also a member of the U.S. Army Reserves and was forced to live in Washington State during the 1961-62 season. He was only allowed to leave on weekends and meet the Lakers wherever they were playing. That season, despite the insanity he was experiencing off the court, on it, in the 48 games he played, he averaged 38 points, 19 rebounds, and 5 assists a night. 62 is known for another reason as well for Baylor, as it's the season he came closest to capturing an elusive NBA championship. In Game 4, he set a finals record with 61 points in a game, but Game 7 saw a Frank Selvey shot miss in the closing moments of regulation. By the end of overtime, Russell's Celtics had once again defeated Baylor and West's Lakers. The rest of his career was sadly defined more by bad luck than prowess on the floor. In 64, a knee injury slowed him down to the point that by 71 he knew it was over. The team was 4 years into the Wilt Chamberlain experience and still without a title. But with Baylor on the sidelines after retiring 9 games into the season, the Lakers finally won their elusive first championship in Los Angeles. Instead of forcing himself to continue to play one final season, Baylor was forced to watch his teammates achieve something he was never able to. Baylor deserved better than that, and he deserves to be remembered as one of the greats to ever play the sport. Bill Simmons in 2008 said, quote, "You could call him the godfather of hangtime. You could call him the godfather of the wow play. He may not have an NBA title, but he should have the title of the first great athletic scorer in the game's history. He took a boring horizontal sport and made it vertical. In many ways, the sport we know now is featuring a series of real-life superheroes. Started when Baylor debuted in Minneapolis all those years ago. His ability to create a shot off the dribble and with his athleticism is something that seems obvious to us now, but simply didn't exist back then. Now, some 50 years later after he retired, it's impossible to deny the impact he had. Many of today's best owe their games to a man they've probably never thought of. So is the legacy of the game's first vertical superstar, Elgin Baylor.